ஆண்டாள் திருவடிகளே சரணம், ஆழ்வார் திருவடிகளே சரணம், எம்பெருமானார் திருவடிகளே சரணம், பெரியவாச்சான் பிள்ளை திருவடிகளே சரணம், ஜீயர் திருவடிகளே சரணம், ஜீயர் திருவடிகளே சரணம். ஸ்ரீசைலேஷ தயாபாத்திரம் தீபக்தியாதி குணார்ணவம் யதீந்திர பிராணம் வந்தே ரம்ய ஜாமாத்தரம் முனிம் ரம்ய ஜாமாத்திரி யோகீந்திர பாதரேகாமயம் சதா ததா யத்தாத்ம சத்தாதிம் ராவணஜமுனிம் பஜே. லக்ஷ்மீநாத சமாரம்பாம் நாதே ஆமன மத்தியமாம் அஸ்மத் ஆச்சாரிய பரியந்தாம் வந்தே குரு பரம்பராம். யோ நித்யமच्युतपदाम्बुजे युग्मरुक्मं व्यामोहतस्तदितराणि तृणाय मेने अस्मद्गुरोर्भगवतोऽस्य दैकसिन्धोः रामानुजस्य चरणौ शरणं प्रपद्ये. मातापिता योतयस्तनया विभूतिः सर्वं यदेव नियमेन मदन्वयानाम् आद्यस्य न कुलपतेरुकुलाभिरामं श्रीमत्तदङ्घ्रियुगळं प्रणमामि मूर्ध्ना. भूतं सरश्च महताह्वये भट्टनाथ श्रीभक्तिसारकुलशेखर योगिवाहान् भक्ताङ्घ्रिरेण प्रकालयतीन्द्रमिश्रान् श्रीमत्पराङ्कुशमुनिं प्रणतोऽस्मि नित्यम्. அல்லினாள் தாமரமேல் அரணங்கினன் துணைவி மல்லி நாடாண்ட மடமையில் மெல்லியலால் ஆயர் குலவேந்த நாகத்தால் தென்புதுவை வேயர் பயந்த விளக்கு. கோலச்சுரு சங்கை மாயின் செவ்வாயின் குணம் வினவும் சீலத்திணல் தென் திருமல்லி நாடி செழுங்குடல் மேல் மாலை தொடை தென்னரங்கரை கீயும் மதிப்புடைய சோலைக்கிழி அவள் தூய நற்பாதம் துணை நமக்கே. We have been enjoying nAchchiyAr thirumozhi dhivyaprabandham, which is a beautiful composition by nAchchiyAr. In this, we have seen the 10th decade in the previous session. Now we are continuing on to 11th decade, thAmugakkum tamkayyil. That is the padiham. With the help of Periyavachan Pillai's commentary, we are going through the beautiful meanings for this Prabandham. Let us first see the introduction section given by Periyavachan Pillai for this Padiham. In the previous Padiham, nAchchiyAr was looking for two aspects for her survival. One is Bhagavan maintaining his vows, Bhagavan having commitment towards his devotees. So that is the first aspect. But sometimes, due to his swatanthriyam, his free will, he may discard his own vow. So if that is not dependable, then there is always the connection with Periyalvar, Vishnuchitta swAmy, who is her father. Because of her connection with Periyalvar, nAchchiyAr is confident that Bhagavan will protect her. All of these are happening because nAchchiyAr is suffering from the sorrow of separation from Bhagavan. And she is very keen, very eager to unite with Bhagavan somehow. But Bhagavan is making her wait, and she is unable to tolerate that wait. So she is revealing her emotions. In the previous two Padihams, she revealed how she is being tormented by all the natural rain and the flowers blossoming, the cuckoos making noise. All of these are tormenting her because she is in separation now. And all of these aspects, they remind her about Bhagavan's different aspects. And she torments even more because of thinking about Bhagavan and not being able to attain him immediately. So that's what we've been seeing. And in the previous Padiham, we saw that she had these two hopes only. Bhagavan's commitment, that is his vow that he will protect his devotees. And then the second aspect is connection with Periyalvar, Vishnuchitta swAmy. Even if Bhagavan doesn't fulfill his commitment, his vow, still we can depend on Periyalvar's connection. That's what she was thinking, that she would be accepted by Bhagavan at the end of previous Padiham itself. But it did not happen. She became even more sorrowful. she is in a state similar to Bhishmacharya, who was tormented by Arjuna's arrows, and he fell on a bed of arrow, and then he remained there. So similar to how Bhishmacharya was tormented by Arjuna's arrows, here nAchchiyAr was tormented by all the aspects which resembled Bhagavan, which remained Bhagavan, and so on. So when this is her stage, her situation, her mothers and friends, girlfriends, they were all away from her so far. They were not present close to her. But now that she has reached this stage where she is unable to sustain herself, they wanted to check her, how she is doing. For that, nAchchiyAr, towards those who have come close to her, she is telling them, you see how I am having full confidence in Bhagavan, how I believed him. You see my situation now. I am suffering in separation. Now, you also see how beautifully he has come and helped me in this stage. She is telling sarcastically that he has not come and helped her yet. So she is saying, you see how he has come and helped me. You see how his qualities, attributes are, how his nature is. And she becomes very upset. She becomes very angry. And in this decade, she is finally somehow reconciling herself that in the past, he has taken some efforts to help some women, his divine consorts like Sita Pirati, Rukmini Pirati. In all of those cases, he had gone and helped. He had taken great efforts to help them, to unite with them. So similarly, he will also do that same thing for me also, that he will come and rescue me also. And in this manner, she is somehow sustaining herself. She is not fully sustained, but somehow she is convincing herself that, okay, even if he has not helped me for being connected to Periyalvar, if not now, at least in future he will help me, certainly, because he has helped other ladies like Sita Pirati, Rukmini Pirati, and so on, Bhumi Pirati, and so on. So that is the way this Padigam is going. So initially she is upset, but in the end she convinces herself that Bhagavan will come and certainly protect her and unite with her. So that is the way this Padigam is set up. So we'll see each Pasuram one by one, brief meanings and important aspects from the Pasuram. thAmugakkum tam kaiyil sangame polavo. Yamugakkum en kaiyil sangamam endizhayir. Thimugattu நாகனை மேல் சேரும் திருவரங்கர் ஆமுகத்தை நோக்காரால் அம்மனே அம்மனே. So in the first Pasuram, she is crying out basically in deep sorrow. She is saying, Yendi Idayir. She is looking at all the women there who are coming and inquiring about her, all the mothers and aunts and friends, all of them. Yendi Idayir, meaning those who are beautifully decorated with ornaments. Yamugakkum Yamkayil Sangam. The bangles which I am wearing on my hand, which are very dear to me. thAmugakkum. nAchchiyAr is telling the mothers and other friends and all, when you go and ask Bhagavan whether it is apt for him, whether it is reasonable for him to make a woman suffer like this? For that, you ask him if he has any answer. So that is the um, brief introduction. And also she is telling that, is he thinking that there is some shortcoming in my side, that I am trying something on my own, trying to reach Bhagavan? Or is he thinking that he doesn't have the ability to protect me and unite with me? So where is the fault? You ask him, says under nAchchiyAr in this pasuram. That is the first pasuram. In the end of the commentary, Periyavachan Pillai says that Bhagavan is not even looking at her face, and she is in a desperate situation now, almost at the verge of death. If Bhagavan doesn't come soon, she will even not live anymore. In that stage, just as Bhishmacharya, who had the fortune of having Krishna's darshan while ascending to Paramapadam, or while ascending to the higher abode, why can't I get the same benefit? Is your thought that you will help only somebody like Bhishmacharya and not a woman like me? So that is how she is asking in this pasuram. So she is asking, will you only help men, will you not help women like me? That is her question. That is the first pasuram. Second pasuram. எழிலுடைய அம்மனை மீர் என்னரங்க தின்னமுதர் குழல் அழகர் வாயழகர் கண்ணழகர் கொப்பூடில் எழுகமல பூவழகர் எம்மானார் என்னுடைய கடல் வளையை தாமும் கடல் வளையை ஆக்கினரே. Let us see the word by word meanings. எழிலுடைய, beautiful, அம்மனை மீர், oh mothers. She is calling all her mothers. Here mothers include mother, aunts and all of them. So all of my mothers. Arangathu, one who is mercifully present in Srirangam. En innamudar, one who is like my sweet nectar. Amritam means nectar. One who is like my sweet nectar. Kudalalagar, one who is having beautiful hair. Vayalagar, one who is having beautiful mouth and lips. Kannalagar, one who is having beautiful eyes. Koppudil Edukamala Puvalagar, one who is having beautiful lotus flower on his divine navel. On the Tirunabi, he is having a beautiful lotus flower. Yammanar, such Bhagavan, who is also Azhiya Manavada, Sri Ranganatha, who is my Lord. Ennudaya, my Kadalvadayai. See, Kadalvadai is repeated here in this pasuram 2 times. Kadalvadai means that bangle which doesn't slip out. That is a name for that bangle. The name for a bangle which doesn't slip out is known as Kadalvadai in Tamil. Also, Kadal means slipping out. So there is second meaning. Second usage of Kadalvadai is slipping out of my hand, bangle which is slipping out of my hand. So here under nAchchiyAr is saying, you have turned the bangle which doesn't slip from my hand to a bangle which slips from my hand. Because of you tormenting me and I am becoming weakened, because of me becoming weakened and thin, my bangles are automatically slipping out of my hands, says under nAchchiyAr in this pasuram. So here in this pasuram, she is telling about her situation to her mothers. Usually this kind of love towards the hero is kept confidentially by the girl, but here, being unable to control it, she is sharing it with her mothers. That is the pasuram here. That is second pasuram. Next, third pasuram. பொங்கோதம் சூழ்ந்த புவனியும் வெண்ணுலகும் அங்காதும் சோராமே ஆழ்கின்ற எம்பெருமான் செங்கோலுடைய திருவரங்க செல்வனார் Engol Vadayal Idarthirvat Agade. In the next Pasram, Andal nAchchiyAr is saying, why is he eager about my bangles? Is he having any shortcoming that only if he gets my bangles, he will feel fulfilled? So that is the question being asked in this Pasram. That is, again, the slipping of bangles is happening due to the woman becoming lean due to sorrow of separation. Because of this, she becomes weakened and the bangles slip out. And Bhagavan is eagerly waiting for her bangles because anything related to his beloved persons, his consorts, he takes them. If a divine consort like Sri Mahalakshmi has something in her hand, let's say she has a lotus flower, Bhagavan likes it. He desirously takes that. If the cowherd girls, gopikas, they touch the butter with their hand and prepare it, and they have the butter in their hand, Krishna likes to take that because it is the cowherd's women's butter. So whatever is dear to his devotees, he likes them as well. So here she is saying, Pungu, the waves are agitating. Odham, in that ocean, but by that ocean, surrounded, Bhuvaniyum, this Bhumandalam, that is Samsara. And then Vinnulagam, Paramadam. Here, Bhumandala is just a sample for the whole Leela Vibhuti. And then Vinnulagam means Paramapadam, Sri Vaikuntham. Anga Adum Sorame, without anything being lost, without any shortcoming, Algendra, one who is controlling and ruling over, Emberaman, my Lord, my swAmy, Sengoludaya, that Lord is none other than Sri Ranganatha here. Sengoludaya, one who can conduct his scepter. The kings have a stick, a pole, which is known as scepter. That is the identity of their rule, their reign. So here, Bhagavan is able to control everything. That Aranga Chelvanar, one who is mercifully reclining in Koil. Koil means Srirangam. That Sriman, that Sriman Narayana, Yen, my, Kolvalayal, with the bangles which are on my hand, Vidarthirvar Agade. Will he get his shortcomings fulfilled by taking my bangles? Asks Andal nAchchiyAr. Why is he doing this? Why is he tormenting me? At least I can have these bangles which are dear to him. He likes my bangles, so at least when I see the bangles, I can relate to him. But even that he is trying to take away now. Why is that? Why is he trying to torment me like that? Asks Andal nAchchiyAr. So here, in the introduction for the Pasuram, there is a beautiful insight given. In this Pasuram, the mothers are asking Andal nAchchiyAr, okay, if Bhagavan wants to take your bangles, it is because he likes you. That is the only reason why he takes your bangles. Otherwise, he will not take your bangles. So if he is taking your bangles out of his love towards you, that should be something happy for you. Why are you worried because of that? That is what the mothers ask. And then for that, Andal nAchchiyAr is saying, no, this is not the reason. It is not because of his love towards me, he is trying to take my bangles. It is because he really wants to torment me. Because Andal nAchchiyAr is in separation, she thinks that really Bhagavan wants to torment her. So that is why he is taking the bangles. And she is showing her anger in this case, in this Pasuram. Here, Pongodam Suranda Bonium Vinnulagam. So two Vibhutis, Leela Vibhuti first, and then Nitya Vibhuti second, are shown by Andal nAchchiyAr. And then she says Emberuman. That means he is the Lord for me. Peruman means he is my Lord. Here, Andal nAchchiyAr is thinking that Bhagavan has made me a separate vibhuti, which is different from Leela Vibhuti and Nitya Vibhuti. So he considers me to be a special wealth, special possession of him. Um, and the reason why she is saying that is, in the samsara, everybody is enjoying materialistic pleasures. In Paramapadam, everybody is enjoying him, only Bhagavan. But I am unable to reach Paramapadam yet. At the same time, I am not fitting in samsara. So I am a separate entity. I am different from Nitya Vibhuti and Leela Vibhuti. So he has made me suffer in between, instead of either I should reach Paramapadam or I should just engage in materialistic activities without knowing Bhagavan, because after knowing Bhagavan, I am unable to reach him. That gives me more sorrow. It's like an example. Let's say a person, he is a prince of a kingdom. He gets lost in the forest. Now he doesn't realize his identity because he was lost in a very young age. Some hunter picks him up and he nurtures him, he raises him. Now he doesn't know that prince doesn't know that he was born as a prince. But at some point, let's say he comes to know that he was a prince, but he got lost in the forest. He finds out his real story. But now he wants to go to his kingdom and claim the ownership of the kingdom. But something is stopping him. There is some other ruler who is not allowing him, or some, maybe his cousins or brothers, they have taken over the kingdom and they are not allowing him. So what will be his situation? He is neither the actual prince now, nor he can be like a hunter, because he understood that he is a prince. So similarly, nAchchiyAr is saying, I am neither fitting in the samsara, nor I have got the opportunity to reach Paramapadam now, return to Paramapadam now. In nAchchiyAr, we can say return to Bhagavan, because she came from Vaikuntham. But in case of general Aldvars, Acharyas, us, we have to always say reach Paramapadam, not return to Paramapadam, because we did not come from Paramapadam. But nAchchiyAr being Bhumi Pirati, or in case of Ramanujacharya, we can say, because Adishesha appeared as Ramanuja, we can say in his case that he returned to Paramapadam. But for all of us, it will be reaching Paramapadam. But here, because nAchchiyAr has come from Vaikuntham, she can say that Bhagavan is not taking me back to Paramapadam. And because of that, I am feeling as a separate entity, says nAchchiyAr in this pasaram. Next, fourth pasaram. மச்சணி மாட மதிலரங்கர் வாமனனார் பச்சை பசுந்தேவர் தாம் பண்டு நீரேற்ற இச்சை குறையாகி என்னுடைய பெய்வளை மேல் இச்சையுடையரேல் இத்தெருவே போதாரே. So here in this pasaram, nAchchiyAr is saying, okay, I will agree that he wants to take my bangles. I accept that. But for that, he has to come to my street where I am staying. He cannot remain somewhere hidden and try to just steal my bangles. So she is asking Bhagavan to come to her so that at least she can have his darshan. So that is the pasaram here. Much the higher levels, higher floors, ani, well decorated with higher floors, madam, having mansions. So there are multi-storied mansions, madil, and then there are forts, the prakarams around the mansions. Arangar, the one who is mercifully present in Srirangam. So in Srirangam we have big, huge mansions and 7 layers. We have 7 layers of streets, or 7 layers around the Garbhagraham. So Sapta Prakara Madhye, it is said, Bhagavan is present inside 7 layers here. So that Bhagavan, who is present in Srirangam, Vamananar, in the past he had been as a Vamana, one who went as Vamana towards Mahabali, Pachai Pasundevar. It is the same Bhagavan who is present as Periya Perumal here, Sri Ranganatha here, who is fresh, who is completely new. Tam, him, Pandu, in the past, from Mahabali, Neeretra Pichai Kureyagi. Previously, he accepted water and accepted charity, donation from Mahabali. Does he think that he has got something missing in that charity he got, the alms he got? Does he think that he needs to get some more? So, for eliminating that shortcoming, that that loss, என்னுடைய மை பெய்வளை மேல், the bangles which are present on my hand, இச்சையுடையரேல், if he is got some interest, if he wants to claim my bangles, if he so likes that, if he likes that so much, itteruve, in this street where I am staying, Odare, will he not go? Why is he staying in his own place and expecting me to lose everything for him? At least he should give me his darshan so that I can see him, and then let him take my bangles. I don't care. But let me have his darshan at least, says nAchchiyAr in this pasuram. Here, itterive podare. Already we saw Nandarivin Nadive Vandu in thAliyar Padhigam. We saw how Krishna went to Malakara's place, the flower maker. Krishna went to his place, flower vendor, and got good garlands. So similarly, nAchchiyAr was saying, Nandarivin Nadive Vandu, you should come to my street also. Don't think that my street is a very small lane, my house is very small, but you have to come there, says nAchchiyAr. So similarly, nAchchiyAr is repeating the same request. Can you not come to my street so that I can see the same way you walked in the Yajnavatam? In the Yajnavatam, that is in the sacrificial arena, he walked as the Vamana. Similarly, I want you to walk that beautiful walk in front of me also in my street, says nAchchiyAr. Next, fifth பாசுரம். பொல்லா குரலுருவாய் பொற்கையில் நீரேற்று எல்லா உலகும் அளந்து கொண்ட எம்பெருமான் நல்லார்கள் வாழும் நளிர் அரங்க நாகனையான் இல்லாதோம் கைப்பொருளும் எய்துவார் ஒத்துழனே. She is saying here, this Bhagavan, Periya Perumal, he is coming and taking something from me. I don't have anything in my hand. I have nothing in my hand. But even in my case, he is coming and trying to take everything. Why is he doing this? Says nAchchiyAr. Polla Koruluruvai, being in a distinguished Vamana form, Pon Kayil, on his beautiful hands, Neeretru, on his beautiful hand, accepting the Bhiksha, accepting the alms, Ella Ulagum, all of the worlds, Alandu Gonda, one who captured all of them by measuring, by scaling the worlds, Emberuman, being my Lord, Nallargal Varum, all those great sages and saintly persons living Nadirarangam, in the school Srirangam, in their Naganayan, on the Thiruvananthalvan, Adisheshan, Bhagavan is present, reclining. Such Periya Perumal, Illadom, I who have nothing, Akinchana, I have nothing in my hands, my Kaipurulum, the principle which is my body, Eiduvan Ottulan, it appears that he wants to capture my body also, take away my body also, says nAchchiyAr in this pasuram. Here, Polla Kural means, Polla means in Tamil generally bad, but here he is saying in a contrary way, because two reasons are shown. One is, nAchchiyAr is trying to avoid evil eyes from Bhagavan. If Bhagavan is explained to be beautiful dwarf person, then many people may place their dirty or evil eyes. That's what is known as drifty. So that evil eyes may be placed. For that, nAchchiyAr is saying Polla Kural, that is bad dwarf, so that people will not think about him in a good way. Or alternatively, second explanation is because Bhagavan's beauty is not seen in this world anywhere. So to identify the distinguished nature, Polla is used, says Periyavachan Pillai here. There is a beautiful explanation for this Srirangam, Nallargal Valu, Nadiraranga Naganaya. So, the greatness of living in Srirangam, Dividesham, is beautifully brought out by Periyavachan Pillai. Here he is saying, Nallargal Vadum Nadiraranga. Usually, Vadum means living, but Vadum also means Valchi, that is living with greatness, with living with glories. So, here, this Desha Vasam, that is remaining in Srirangam itself, is a great life. Because even today we can see there is Utsavams for Perumal, Utsavams for Alvar Acharyas, there is Kalakshepams going on, there are different Sannidhis where different Kainkaryams are required. So there is constant engagement. There is dhivyaprabandham, there is thOthAthri, there is Veda Parayanam, there is Grantha Kalakshepam, there are Upanyasams. Many things are going on always. Learning of Shastram is there, everything is there. So, because of all of this, this is the ideal place to live. But same thing can be said for other Divyadeshams also to some extent. In every Divyadesham, just living there itself is a great fortune or greatness. So, similarly, Venkadathai Padiyaga Valveergal. And nAchchiyAr is said, oh, one who is having Trivenkadam, Tirumala as your abode. What a life you are having. So all the Divideshams, though it is Srirangam mentioned here, it can be applied for all Divideshams and divine abodes of Bhagavan. Nallargal, also Nallargal means good people. They are explained. Who are good people? That means those who have Bhagavan as Upayam and Bhagavan as Upayam. They don't engage in any other Upayam to attain Bhagavan. And they don't pray to Bhagavan and get something else. So they want to have Bhagavan as the means, Upayam, and then the goal, Upayam, both. So that is Nallargal. It's actually explained here beautifully. Instead of living here in this Dividesham, pursuing Upayams, like Nama Sankirtanam, like Dividesha Vasam, considering that to be an Upayam, many Bhagavatas, many devotees are living here thinking that just living here is the goal. Living here is not a means for attaining something else. Living here is the goal completely. Why is that? Because this is where our goal, which is who is Bhagavan, that Bhagavan is himself living here. He is residing here mercifully. So because our goal, Bhagavan is residing here, this place also becomes our goal. So because Bhagavan is present in a very easily approachable manner in Archa form, it is only Kainkaryam. Everything happens here is Kainkaryam only. There is no Upaya Buddhi. Only when somebody is very difficult to attain, we need to search something else to attain him. But when Bhagavan is easy to attain, everything related to him is done as Kainkaryam only. So everything here, it is fully enjoyable in Srirangam. There are a couple of things which are identified about Srirangam here. It is said the people are always trembling. What if I get Paramapadam? What if I have to go to Sri Vaikuntham one day, leaving this Srirangam? That is what people will be trembling. Usually people will be trembling for death. But here people are not, the Bhagavatas or the devotees here, they are not trembling in fear of death. Rather, they are trembling that if death comes, then they have to leave the body here and they have to ascend to Paramapadam. So that is what their worries will be. for many of them. So that is how people live here. Ichuve tavira yan poi, Indira Lokamadum, Achuve Perenum Yandian, Tondaripadial also said, giving up this beautiful aspects of Sri Rangam, Sri Ranganatha, I will not desire going to Parampadam also. Though he said that he still went to Parampadam, but still it is explained here. Also, there are a couple of other incidents, very beautiful incidents are shown here about greatness of Sri Rangam. Parashara Bhattar one time was having some big wound or a boil or some sort of wound on his back. At that time, he was very much in pain and he was suffering from pain. At that time, Periya Perumal, he invites Parashara Bhattar to his Sannidhi. So Parashara Bhattar comes there, and at that time Periya Perumal is asking Parashara Bhattar, "Oh, come on here. Did you fear that you are going to die because of that big wound?" In those days, the medication or the treatments for these are not very easy. They have to do the hard way, like cutting off the flesh in without any anesthesia and all that. So it's very difficult those days. So he was also suffering a lot due to that wound. At that time, Bhagavan asks, "Are you fearful now that you may die from this wound? Maybe this disease may become infection and then you may die." For that, Parashara Bhattar responds. We have to see how beautiful he responds. He is telling to Periya Perumal, "You have given me all greatness. You have made me born as Kuratalvan, Kuresha's son. You have accepted me as your Svikara Putra, adopted son. You have given me all the knowledge, devotion which I need. You made Parampadam available for me right from here. I can just on a moment, quickly I can get Paramapadam or even grant Paramapadam to others. You have given me so much. So why would I fear if I have to leave this body? I don't have any fear. But the only thing I have is worry. I have some worries, which is I have always seen your beautiful, cool form, and then the Kasturi Tilakam, all of that, and then your beautiful smile. I have seen all of this. If I have to leave this, what will I do? Says says Parashara Bhattar. So that is how he was attached to Sri Ranganatha and Sri Rangam. He just didn't want to leave Sri Rangam. That's all. He didn't he didn't feel bad about dying, giving up his body. But he just couldn't digest the fact that he may not see Sri Ranganatha's face and features in Parampadam. But we do see that another incident is shown that Parashara Bhattar and even another Acharya says that if I don't see Sri Ranganatha's Periya Perumal's presence in Vaikuntham, I'll jump out of Vaikuntham again back to Sri Rangam. Because they have not come back here, we have to assume that they are having Sri Ranganatha darshan also in Paramapadam. So that is one incident here. Another incident, beautiful incident is shown. Alavandar's son, he is known as Sottai Nambi. And one time, he goes to Tirukottiur Nambi, Gotti Purna, and he says some harsh words. Alavandar's son is probably the same age as Tirukottiur Nambi, because Tirukottiur Nambi is Alavandar's disciple. So maybe they are same age, maybe out of anger or close friendship, he may have said some harsh words towards Tirukottiur Nambi. For that, Goshti Purna became a little bit upset and he says, "Don't come near me, you go away from here." And Sottai Nambi had to obey Tirukottiur Nambi's words, so he went to the king's court and he did some work there. He did some service there and he was getting some dravyam for that. He was living like that. And his final days come. It is about the time he ascends to Paramapadam. So at that time, Tirukottiur Nambi went to Sottai Nambi. Even though he told him to stay away, he couldn't bear the thought that he is going to leave shortly. So he went to see Sottai Nambi, and he was asking Sottai Nambi, what are you thinking now? In your final moments, what are you thinking? At that time, the thought is, Gotti Purna might have thought that maybe you are thinking because of our fight, you may not get Paramapadam or something along that lines. You may have lost confidence. With that thought, Tirukottiyanbi is asking. But for that, Sottai Nambi is not even bothered. He is saying, because of my connection with Alavandar, his divine lotus feet is my refuge. Because of that, I don't care, I don't worry about ascending to Paramapadam much, because I am guaranteed, because of his connection with me, I am guaranteed to reach Paramapadam. But my only concern is, if I go to Paramapadam and if I see Sri Vaikunthanatha's divine face, and if it doesn't appear the same as Nambarmal's divine face, then I'll have to make a hole on the Paramapadam's walls and jump out of Paramapadam and come to Srirangam, says Sottai Nambi. He says, the only concern I have is I have to break the Shastram rule which says Nachapunaravartate, that is, an Atma which became liberated doesn't return to samsara. I will end up breaking that rule, but what can I do? I cannot live without Nambarmal's face, says Sottai Nambi. So these incidents are shown to show the greatness of Srirangam, how great it is to be present here itself. Just the fortune of being in this Dividesham itself is greatly glorified by Andal nAchchiyAr here. So that is fifth Pasaram. And then sixth Pasaram. கைப்பொருள்கள் முன்னமே கை கொண்டார் காவிரி நீர் செய்பொருள ஓடும் திருவரங்க செல்வனார் எப்பொருட்கும் நின்று ஆர்க்கம் எய்தாது நான்மறையின் சொற்பொருளாய் நின்றார் என் மெய்ப்பொருளும் கொண்டாரே. Here Andal nAchchiyAr is talking about Bhagavan's simplicity and supremacy both. On one hand, he is present for everyone as Sri Ranganatha. On the other hand, he is very difficult to attain for even great personalities. Such Bhagavan has now taken my body also. Even that is taken by him. Everything is taking over, says Andal nAchchiyAr. Kaveri Neer. This water, Kaveri Tirtham, Seipurala Vodum. It is having so much water that it is overflowing to all the fertile fields, so that they are very fresh and well nurtured. Thiruvarangam, one who is present in Srirangam. Selvanar, one who is Shriman. Shriman means having great Shri. Shriman. Epporutkum nindru. Shri means here wealth. Bhagavan is having great opulence. Epporutkum nindru. For even the lowliest, the most lowly person, being in a easily approachable way, Arkum eidadu. On the other hand, being very difficult to attain even for Brahma, Rudra and all of them. Marayin Solpurulai Nindrar. He remained as the words and the meanings of Vedam. That is how Bhagavan is present. All the words and all the meanings of the Vedam point to Bhagavan only. Munname, already, Kaipurulgal, all the aspects which are with me, Kaikondar, having taken all of that, Ippod, now, Yen Maipurulum, Maipurul means, May means body, my Shariram too, this body also, Kondar, he is taken over them, taken over my body also, he is completely in charge now, says Andal nAchchiyAr. Here, his simplicity is shown here. Bhagavan is approachable even for a tribal woman like Shabari, and then a monkey like Hanuman, Sugriva, and then Idechi, the cowherd girls. So Bhagavan doesn't differentiate between anyone. He is easily approachable for any of his devotees. At the same time, for even great Brahma, Rudra, and all, he is not reachable. That is his nature. So, being such nature, that is shown here, and also Kaipurulgal Munname Kaikondar. It appears that nAchchiyAr is having great devotion towards Bhagavan right from her birth. Similar to how Lakshmana is said by Sumitra that Sriftatvam Manavasaya. See, when Lakshmana was going to forest following Sri Rama, at that time he went to seek permission from his mother Sumitra. At that time, he is thinking that she may be upset that he is going to the forest. But then she was very happy. She actually told Lakshmana that I know that you will go with Sri Rama to forest because you are born to serve him wherever he is. That is your duty. Even to go to forest, that is your duty. You are born for that only, says Sumitra. Similarly, from the birth itself, she is losing all her bangles because she is always having this great love towards Bhagavan. So that is how Bhagavan is so enjoyable. That is also shown. And also Bhagavan being simple to attain for monkey, and then the hunter woman, and then the cowherds, everyone, Sugriva, everyone was easily approaching Bhagavan. But still he is supreme. He is unable to be comprehended by Brahma and Rudra and all of that. So that is his dual nature. There is a beautiful incident shown here. One day, Bhagavad Ramanuja, Emperumanar, was explaining Bhagavan's Paratvam, Saulabhyam, all of those qualities. Starting with Paratvam, he had explained Saulabhyam also. And Embar was hearing that, and he was full of teary eyes and all emotional and all that. And seeing that, Emperumanar, Bhagavad Ramanuja became very happy. He was saying, if you told to the general public who don't understand Bhagavan's greatness, if you told his simplicity, like being born um, as the son of a cowherd and being bound by cowherd women and all of that, these people will not be able to understand Bhagavan's greatness. They will instead consider him to be very inferior. Oh, he is just a cowherd boy. Like that, he will do it, and they will leave him because of lack of fortune. But Emperumanar is looking at Embar and saying, but because you are so fortunate, you are able to enjoy Bhagavan's both supremacy and simplicity, all these qualities in this manner. So you are understanding in the right context that such Bhagavan who is supreme, he has taken such incarnation for our benefit. So um, that is explained here to highlight Bhagavan's simplicity. Another aspect is shown in the end, that is to explain Meipurulum Kondare, that is Bhagavan has taken my body also. That is explained here. For that, Thirumalai Andan used to say, that is, usually we would like to discard this body, which is made of Prakriti, matter. Though it is the case, but now I don't want to give up this body because I don't want to fully abandon this body because it is this body, in this body I got the connection of Alavandar. It is in this body I am able to surrender to Alavandar. So this body is desirable for me because this is the final body and I am able to surrender to Bhagavan in this body. and to surrender to Alavandar also, even to go to Acharya also, it is this body which has helped. So we need not abandon it fully. So this body also should be engaged in Bhagavad Kaikaryam only. That is the concept here. Next, 7th பாசுரம். உண்ணாதுறங்காது ஒலிகடலை ஊடறுத்து பெண்ணாக்கை ஆப்புண்டு தாமுற்ற பேதெல்லாம் தின்னார் முதல் சொல் திருவரங்க செல்வனார் எண்ணாதே தம்முடைய நன்மைகளை எண்ணுவதே. In this பாசுரம், nAchchiyAr is saying, instead of Bhagavan thinking about what he did for Sita Pirati, how he did not eat, did not sleep, finally he went to Lanka and destroyed Lanka and brought her back. All of those simple activities, all of those activities which reveal his simplicity, instead of thinking all of those, Bhagavan is thinking about his supremacy and is staying away from me, says nAchchiyAr in this passage. Thirnar Madil Soul. The forts which are surrounding the Srirangam temple, they are so strong that even during Pralayam, they will not be destroyed. Tiruvarangam, one who is mercifully reclining in Srirangam. Selvanar, Bhagavan who is Shriyapati, the one who is the divine consort of Sri Mahalakshmi. When that Bhagavan incarnated as Sri Rama, Pennakai Apundu, desiring for Sita Pirati's divine form, Unnadu, when she got separated, he was so attached to Sita Pirati that he did not even eat, he did not even sleep. And the ocean which is making noise due to the agitation, Udaruthu, he eliminated the gap between the shores where the ocean was running. He eliminated the gap by building a bridge. Tamutra. In this manner, he attained Pedelnam, the simplicity, all the simplicity. Tamudaya, his, instead of forgetting all of those, Tamudaya, his Nanmegale, greatness only, Yennuvar. Now he is only thinking about his greatness, he is not thinking about his simplicity. So he is not helping me because of thinking that he is great, says nAchchiyAr. This Tirupati, this Srirangam, is surrounded by very firm forts which cannot be broken. So that is also highlighted by Periyavachampillai for this Pasuram. Next Pasuram, 8th Pasuram. Pasidurthi kadanda Parmagatku, Pandurunan Masulambil Nirvara, Manamila Pandriya, Kesudaya Devar, Tiruvaranga Chelvanar, Pesi Iripanagal, Perkavo Perade. In this Pasuram, nAchchiyAr celebrates his help for Sri Bhumi Pirati. Pandurunal, in the past, previously, Pasidurthi kadanda, this ocean was filled with algae and all that. This earth was filled with, surrounded by algae and all that. These are green substances which spread when water, when some object is filled in water or when drowned in water, that place becomes greenish. So that is explained here. Parmagatku, for Sri Bhumi Pirati. So the Bhumi Pirati, that is her earth, which was taken away and submerged into the Pralaya water, the overall Andam's water. At that time, Bhagavan accepted the Varaha Avataram and he lifted up the earth from there. So that is explained here. Parmagatku, for Bhumi Pirati, Masulambil Nirvara Manamila Pandriyai. On the dirty body which is filled with mud and all of that, even in this case, not having any shyness, such body has been taken by Bhagavan without any shyness. that Tesude they were having some tejas, having some radiance. That Bhagavan, Sriman Narayana, Tiruvaranga Chelvanar, he is present as Sri Ranganatha. Pesi Irupanagal, whatever he has spoken before, Perkavam Pera. Even if I try to eliminate them from my heart, they will not go. So these are the words like I will never separate from you, I will never abandon you, all of those words. But now he has done it. But I cannot move my heart from that. My heart will always be thinking about that only, says under nAchchiyAr. So here, Bhagavan has changed Aprakrita Divya Samsthanam, that is his divine form, into not just human form. It is less than that. Wild boar, Varaha form, which is not liked by anyone. So that form was taken by Bhagavan, which is a great deed of showing his love for Bhumi Pirati. So this form is not Alukudambu, that is dirty body like ours, but this form of Bhagavan is completely pure. So that is 8th Pasaram. Next Pasaram. So Andal nAchchiyAr is saying in this 8th Pasaram that just as he helped for Bhumi Pirati, he will also help me, saying herself in this manner. She is saying, I am unable to forget him in any way. Only option for me is to be protected by Bhagavan, says Andal nAchchiyAr in the 8th Pasaram. Next, 9th Pasaram. Kannalam kodithu Kannidanai கைப்பிடிப்பான் தின்னாந்திருந்த சிசுபாலன் தேசழிந்து அண்ணாந்திருக்கவே ஆங்கவளை கைப்பிடித்த பெண்ணாளன் பேணுமூர் பேருமரங்கமே. Rukmini Pirati was married by Krishna. The way it happens is Rukmini Pirati, her brother Rukmi, he is always eager to marry Rukmini Pirati to Shishupala. But Rukmini Pirati likes Krishna. So when they fix the marriage dates, Rukmini Pirati sends a Brahmana as a messenger and asks Krishna to come and rescue her. So he came and he rescued Rukmini Pirati. That is explained here in this passage. Kannalam kodithu, managing all the activities for the marriage. Kannidanai, Rukmini Pirati, who is a young girl, who is yet to be married, Kaipadipan, to hold her hand, to do the panigrahanam, which is getting the hand of the wife from her father, that panigrahanam to be done. Thinnarndi irunda. So Shishupala was waiting for this panigrahanam to happen. But at that time, Tesharindu, having lost all his radiance, Annandirikave Ange, as he was looking up without any target, at that time, Avalai, that Rukmini Pirati, Kaipiditha, one who performed Panigrahanam, one who accepted her. That Bhagavan is Pennalan, one who is always known to be companion for women. So such Bhagavan, Penum, eagerly residing Ur, Dividesham, that is this Dividesham, Perum, that Dividesham's name is Arangame, Sri Rangam only, says Andal nAchchiyAr. So here the Krishna Avataram is superimposed on Periya Perumal. It is the same Bhagavan who appeared as Krishna is now appearing as Periya Perumal. That is 9th Pasaram. Next, final Pasaram. செம்மையுடைய திருவரங்கர் தாம் பணித்த மெய்மை பெருவார்த்தை விட்டு சித்தர் கேட்டிருப்பர் தம்மையுகப்பாரை தாமுகப்பர் என்னும் சொல் தம்மிடையே பொய்யானால் சாதிப்பார் ஆதினியே. So here Andal nAchchiyAr is highlighting the phalam for this padiham. செம்மையுடைய mind, speech and body, all three, to be in unison, to be in harmony, having Arjava Gunam, that is having the honesty quality, Tiruvarangar, Sri Ranganatha, that Sri Ranganatha Bhagavan, Tam Panitha, he spoke through his own words, swAmy, that is truthful, very truthful, great, Vartai, the word which is known as Charma Shlokam. Here, Maimai Paruvartai means it is Bhagavan's divine instruction in Sri Bhagavad Gita, that is Charma Shlokam. That's Charma Shlokam. Vittu Siddhar, my respectful father, that is Periyalvar, Vishnu Chitta, Kate, he will accept, he will listen that from Guru, and then Irupar, then he will remain as explained in that Grantham. He will fully follow that. So that is my father's nature. He not only hears to lectures, he also implements the principles which are shown in the lectures, or the principles which are shown in all of these, like Charma Shlokam and all of these mantras and all of that. So that is my father's nature. Tammayugappare thAmugakkum sol. There is a old saying that a person will like another person who likes him. So similarly, that is the situation here. Tammayugappare thAmugakkum sol. There is an old saying that one will like the person who likes him. So when it is there, Tammidaye, in Bhagavan himself, Poyanal, if he himself lies it, if he himself doesn't accept it, then Ini, after this, Sadipara, who can control Bhagavan, who can rule over Bhagavan? Nobody can, says nAchchiyAr in this pasaram. So here the result as such is that nAchchiyAr is upset that Bhagavan is still not giving her the darshan. So she is saying that if Bhagavan himself doesn't care for us, that is, if Bhagavan, who is loved by us, if he doesn't love us back, then what can we do? Can we go and take a stick with us and beat him to do this? We cannot do that. So there is no one to order us in this matter. There is no one to order Bhagavan. Only it is up to him. So because it is up to him, we depend on his mercy fully, says nAchchiyAr in this pasaram. For this Vittu Chittar Ketirupar, beautiful explanation is given. It is said, while the Gita was told to Arjuna only, he is not the only beneficiary of Bhagavad Gita. Everyone is benefiting. Similarly, here also Periyalvar is accepting and understanding this Bhagavad Gita and Charma Shlokam and the important meanings of Charma Shlokam. Because it is not exclusive to Arjuna, it was also told to everybody, having Arjuna as just a reason. And also, Ketirupar means one who should be fully focused on Bhagavan being Upayam and Bhagavan being Upayam. So when we consider Bhagavan as Upayam, we will not do anything. But if we consider Bhagavan as Upayam, then we will do everything. That is the lesson, that is the result of seeing this, reciting these 10 pasarams. So finally, nAchchiyAr is saying that if Bhagavan wishes, then it is good for us. but we cannot force him. So we have to depend on his mercy only. That is a message shown in this Padigam. With this, the Padigam comes to an end. thAmugakkum, Tamkail, it's on Sri Ranganatha, highlighting the greatness of Sri Rangam Divyadesham and Sri Ranganatha himself. With this, we'll stop today and we'll continue on in the next session. Alvar Thirudikade Sharanam, Emberumanar Thirudikade Sharanam, Periyavachan Pillai Thirudikade Sharanam, ஜீயர் திருவடிகளே சரணம், ஜீயர் திருவடிகளே சரணம், ஆண்டாள் நாச்சியார் திருவடிகளே சரணம். பல்லாண்டு பல்லாண்டு பல்லாயிரத்தாண்டு பல கோடி நூறாயிரம் மல்லாண்டு தின்றோன் மணிவண்ணாவும் சேவடி செவிதிருக்கா படியோம் ஓடும் நோடும் பிரிவின் ஆயிரம் பல்லாண்டு வடிவாயினின் வளமார்மனில் வாழ்கின்ற மங்கையும் பல்லாண்டு வடிவார் சோதி வளத்துறையும் சுடர் ஆடியும் பல்லாண்டு படைப்போர் புக்கும் வழங்கும் அப்பாஞ்ச சன்னியமும் பல்லாண்டு.